Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We are once again in the car, therefore we are going to give you guys another movie review. This week was a little weird just because release schedule and stuff like that. Equalizer 3 came out, but neither one of us have seen any of the other Equalizer films, so we didn't feel it was fair necessarily to judge the third in a series when we haven't seen the other two in a series. So we decided to just kind of scroll through what our theater had, and we decided, you know, it's been a long time since we've ripped into Disney on over video, so why not go and see what the deal is with Haunted Mansion. So that is the film that we saw this week, was Haunted Mansion, the Disney flop. So DJ, do you think out of a scale of 1 to 10 this film deserved a flop, 10 being no, absolutely not, this is a masterpiece, 1 being absolutely, I wish that I could go back in time and stop myself from watching this film?
11! No, I'm just kidding. I give it a 7.
Okay, why?
So, I can kind of see why this thing be a flop. Like, it had a lot, this one had a lot of advertising, and, like, I just remember seeing so many different previews for it, there were commercials for it, and a lot of hype for it, but I don't remember anyone talking about going to see it, so I'm not really sure exactly what happened. I'd actually kind of be interested to know. It's actually it's entertaining. The plot is simple, straightforward, easy to follow for the most part. The actors are great. Like, all the characters are fun. There's really good chemistry between everybody. And it takes place over kind of a long period of time, and so there's a lot of development for these characters as they grow. And I really enjoyed the cinematography with the special effects. A lot of camera angles that twist and turned. And there's the earlier, especially early in the film, it'll like use these visual effects, and they get more and more intense as the film goes, and then the physical area starts to match the cinematography style as it changes. So it's just kind of a really fun little twist. But there are a few problems. Mainly the first 30 minutes of the film are really jarring. Like, bam, 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 things happen. And if you're not paying attention, like, for a second, you're going to miss way too much detail. I'm a very big proponent of show don't tell, but I think this one shows a little more than it doesn't show or tell in the beginning. It kind of misses both notes, and so it's a little confusing. And there's a few pacing issues throughout. I can get a little more details and spoilers, but that's my thoughts on it.
Okay.
What about you, John?
I would say 7 is an absolutely fair rating for this film. It's a pretty solid outing. It deserves better in the box office, to be honest, because this film is a lot more fun and a lot more interesting, in my opinion, than the other Disney film that we saw this year, Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid had a lot of issues with it, and the story wasn't that great. This film had a very good premise. It had a very good story. The visuals fit the theme to the movie really well. The entire thing is shot like a stereotypical Disney film, but in a way that it works and it stays within its genre.
Yeah.
There are genuinely some parts in the movie that are thrilling and a little bit scary, which is really cool to have a kid's film that's clearly a kid's film. It's based off of a ride, but it doesn't shy away from the fact that it has horror elements and there's dark humor and things like that that work really well with this film. It's not perfect. It has its issues. Like DJ said, it has some pacing issues, especially at the beginning. It's trying to establish a lot of things really quickly, and I think part of the reason is that it just has such a large and diverse cast.
Yeah.
But when it gets rolling really well. And to be honest, I would say that if you have the opportunity to go see it this week, and you've seen all the other films to this point that we've reviewed or that you've been interested in, this one is worth a watch. It will be really cool to watch at Halloween on Disney Plus. So 7 out of 10, and I do recommend this film. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So with that, I think let's just get into spoilers, open things up, and then we'll talk about all of our very specific spoilers.
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 All right, John.
I cannot believe that in the middle of the climax, Jared Leto appears and he informs the audience that he's not going to kill us. He's just going to hurt us. Really, really bad. Because it's Morbin time.
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Okay. The first part of the film that gets really jarring is it starts out with the one of the main characters meeting his wife at a bar, and then it shoots forward to her being dead. It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say it. I had to infer it. I do not know if everyone else got it. It heavily infers it, everything, and then it goes into two other shifts and pains where he's taking over the job she used to do and other things, and you can tell he's not happy and he's unhappy, that there's something going on. So it's like, okay, she died, they got married, she died. Like, I was able to pick that up. But the movie could have at any moment gone a different direction, and I would have been very confused. So they did, I guess, set it up right, but it happened so quickly, and the pacing is so quickly. You missed a little bit at the beginning. You came in here like, I have no idea what's going on.
It's true.
It sets up so much so quick, and then right as it's setting up his character, the mom and the son pull in, and then they're part of it, and then the priest shows up out of nowhere, and you know nothing about him, and so you're like 20 minutes in the film, and there's so many characters, and you don't know a lot about them.
That's true, and then they keep pulling in and dragging more people in, and
well,
they did well when they drag other characters.
The other characters getting dragged in got actual backstory. Yeah. These ones don't really, and you don't learn anything about the priest really until later on. It's kind of a gag.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of payoff at the end because, okay, again, spoiler alert. The kid, his dad is dead, and he's been talking to him this whole time, or he thinks he has been.
And it's actually really obvious that that's going to be the twist. I told you about halfway
you
through
did,
the film.
yes.
Like the moment that they introduced the fact that the mom character,
Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, that's the actress.
I don't remember her name.
I don't remember her name either.
I don't remember.
That's the other thing is all their names are really forgettable because they say it like once or twice,
Bruce.
and then it's.
I remember Bruce because they say his name a lot.
It's true.
They say his name a lot. Danny DeVito's character gets name dropped so many times. He's the only one now I can remember the name of because he's the only one that gets name dropped so many times.
It's true. But anyway, so the mom character, really early on when she first meets our male lead, who again has a very forgettable name, but doesn't matter, we can just describe it this way. So the male lead and her have a bit of a conversation where they're talking about how the mom came in to be in possession of the house, what her plans were, why she moved away, and things like that. And she starts the line, "Oh, son character's dad," and then they get cut off.
Yeah.
It's almost immediately clear that she's saying, "Oh, well, we moved here because son character's dad died, and I couldn't deal with the stress, so I moved to."
They try to red herring it that it's like maybe a divorce or a separation, and I thought maybe when he was talking about his dad wanted him to come see him, I was like, oh, maybe it was a divorce. And then like, wait. And then I caught on pretty quick after that. But
it also doesn't help that it's revealed that the antagonist of the film did a similar trick already to the first owner of the house. They really heavily showed that entire sequence that he does that, and it's part of his modus operandi. So when the son character is like, "Yeah, I'm talking to my dad, and he wants me to visit him," I was just like, almost like the original owner of the house's wife wanted him to visit, and it wasn't actually his wife, it was the antagonist.
Yeah. Also, the antagonist was way more fun. Okay, so that was...
Antagonist is fun.
He was... The villain was great until he's revealed.
I really liked when he was revealed. His backstory was
his backstory is good. But what I mean is he's way more fun when he's a mystery. Once you know him, I think, I don't know, I think they revealed him a little too soon. The part of my problem is once he's revealed and he's like getting involved in everything, and his backstory's revealed, which was really interesting, his villain threat just isn't as like intense at that moment. Because for the rest of the film, he's just being the bad guy. It'd been more fun to like have him be more mysterious till closer to the end, but that's just a me thing, I think.
I think that they revealed it at a adequate enough time. It kept the film moving. And the other thing is that if they had revealed him later, then they would have had to have rushed all of his backstory.
No. I mean when he sees them. I mean when he sees them in the vision. When he sees them. When he's doing the astral projection, he sees them then.
Yeah, that led to.
Yeah, I wanted to not see him until they learned about him and then him show up.
They had to have seen him though in order to get the sketch.
I know.
Gag.
I know the sketch gag, and that was actually really funny.
The sketch gag was great.
But
so I think
it was funny. I think that's actually part of the problem is that it's a humorous horror film, and so there's a lot of things played for laughs and fun that work and are funny. But there's a lot of moments where the funny stuff ruins the horror a little bit, and then the horror will ruin the humor a little bit, because they don't always work together very well. But overall, the film was still enjoyable. Yeah. Most of my problems, and the reason I gave it a 7, really aren't even to do with that. It's the pacing at the beginning, and it just rushed. It kind of like rushed it into the story really quick, and it was weird to me because there's a lot of stuff later that feels a little fillery, where they're like doing stuff that it could have been better suited to like give more backstory to the characters. And I'm like, you rushed into these characters and now you're just doing weird stuff that doesn't matter what's going on. That was mostly my problem with it. Other than that, I mean, I'm being kind of, I guess, a little picky, but I just enjoyed it. It was a fun film.
It was a really fun film. All the characters were really fun and entertaining. The other thing is that they did a great job with casting. All of the characters played their parts really well, and they were believable.
Their chemistry is amazing, and that was part of the spoiler thing I wanted to talk about because of what we earlier is they're in this house for a long time. It's not a specified amount of time, but you can tell it's been a while because they get
within a month.
Yeah, they get to the point where they know a lot about each other, and Bruce says a thing. He's like, "You're not social at all," and he's like, and everybody's like, "Bruce," and he's like, "Well, he's right. He's right." It's because they've been in this house together for so long that they've got to know each other, and it kind of plays off that. They start to learn each other's habits and each other's like personalities, and they kind of become a team and almost a family in a way, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah. No, all the characters, they did a really good job with this cast. None of the characters feel ignored. It's clear who the main characters are, but even all the side characters are interesting and fun enough that when they show up on the screen, it's actually really enjoyable, all their scenes.
I kind of really felt like it's obvious that the male and female leads are the astrophysicist, the ghost hunter, and the mom. Yep. Because it really hits hard on them when they come up. But the other 3 characters, the priest, the medium, and the son, are heavily involved in the story and they feel like all 5 of them are main characters.
Yeah, they're all main characters, but the ones that we have
they're the lead
backstory.
Yeah, they're the leads.
Yeah, they're the leads.
They're the leads,
so,
but it's actually a good use of having multiple main characters, because I think a lot of times in films, especially today, you have your lead and then everybody else just exists. I think it's one of the reasons I really enjoyed Guardians, for the same reason. They don't feel like lead and blank slates. They all feel like main characters, and your lead, but they all feel like main characters. Yeah. This did a really good job of that, and it was actually very refreshing, because a lot of these, this film felt like it could have easily been a throwaway film where they would have just chucked it into the moon, and it actually did a really good job of using its cast and cinematography really well together.
Yeah, it really did. The majority of the film, like I said, is very enjoyable. It's very well put together. It suffers a little bit, it falls into a lot of tropes and not necessarily in the fun way. There's a bit of predictability to it that it would be nice if it wasn't as predictable. Some of the things that were revealed in the trailers as well. They didn't do a great job with making their trailers.
That would have been another complaint. Is like some of the best parts in the film were in the trailers, but there were some really good parts that weren't. But it does suffer from best scene. The funniest scenes in the trailer are some of the best scenes from the film.
Yeah, and the fact that like
the sketch artist, man,
the sketch artist thing was hilarious.
It was actually even funnier in context, but it would have been way better if I hadn't seen the trailer of it.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you see the shot, it's almost the entire trailer takes up that entire sketch. So it would have been a lot better if it had just been left in the film as it was. Mm-hmm. I understand the draw for it. This film really, really works well. It's shot very well. There's not too many things I would really change. I think the reason that it's not doing so hot in the box office is because, one, it had a crazy large budget. Two, they spent so much time and energy advertising it that it felt kind of like a gimmick. And the other thing is that why not release this film in October or September?
Maybe they just wanted it on Disney Plus at that time.
That's why, I'm sure. I'm sure it's that they want to have an October release for it on Disney Plus, but why not? If you're going to release a film in theaters, you want it to make money. Releasing it when they did is not a good idea for it to make money.
I don't know. It was a weird choice. It's a fun film. It's going to lose its mark because of timing, yeah, like you said.
Yeah. So it's an odd decision, and there's nothing glaringly wrong about the film. It is fun, it's entertaining, and like I said, there's parts of it that are genuinely thrilling. Sorry, it's midnight. We had a late showing.
So. The one last thing I was going to say, and then I'm done, is the cinematography thing. Was actually one of the coolest things in the film, because early in the film the camera does these turns and they're walking through the stairs and the camera like turns and twists, and as the film progressed the mansion starts to move in the same way the cameras do. So like, at first it's just the cameras moving, and then the mansion is moving with the cameras, then the mansion is moving and the cameras are sitting still as the mansion moves in the same exact, so it's like the camera motion foreshadows the movements of the mansion. So that was just like a really cool thing, because I'm watching the end of the film like, this is like harkening back to the beginning with the shots. This is a really cool use of cinematography. I thought that was really awesome.
Yeah.
But that's my last comment, so I'm done.
Yeah. The cinematography is a lot of fun in this. All the character work is really well done. Every character has a lot of interesting parts about them, and they all are unique enough with their backstories that it's a fun group of people that get together, and it's an enjoyable film. We can leave it at that. If you are going to watch it, you're in for a treat. It's not the greatest film of the year by any stretch of the imagination, but you will be entertained. It is a fun film. I think that's about it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like our reviews, be sure to let us know in the comment section, and especially let us know like what kind of films you guys want us to watch as the year progresses on. And be sure to also share us with your friends. If you like our content and our opinions on things, we release those throughout the week on our Facebook page at Entertainment Rebooted, and we also follow and harass and poke at the the studios and the crazy, insane internet fan people at X, or what was Twitter, at ExpositionSickle. Otherwise, you all enjoyed this, and we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for watching.